The Gerard Sekoto Gallery, together with the French Institute of South Africa and the Alliance Française of Johannesburg, will be hosting an honorary exhibition titled Five Photographer Essay Tribute to David Goldblatt. It's set to take place from the 4th to the 31st of May. Alexia Webster, Jabulani Dhlamini, Mauro, Vombe and Pierre Crocquet are the four participating artists for this exhibition, were personally picked out by David Goldblatt himself to be part of this exhibition. Well, for more on this, we're joined by curator John Fleetwood as well as Jabulani Dhlamini. Gentlemen, good morning. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
John, let me start with you. There's often an outcry of icons being celebrated once they've passed. This exhibition, the celebration of David Goldblatt, is that why, well, one of the reasons why you guys wanted to honor him and celebrate him?
Well, absolutely. I think David Goldblatt has such an extensive career of socially committed photography that I think it is totally apt to celebrate him. But in a retrospective exhibition of his work is currently on show at the Centre Pompidou in Paris. And I think that's really how it came about, is that the French ambassador asked David how he would like to celebrate this exhibition. And David immediately pointed to other photographers to celebrate younger generations of photographers in a way to have as a tribute to him.
And for people who may not really be familiar with David's work, won't you tell us exactly how great a photographer he is? In your own words, what are some of the things that you have drawn from watching his work, looking at his work ethic, looking at his dedication and his love for what he does?
Yeah, I think there's that's a very long answer you wanting to have. I think David has worked for more than 6 decades on critical issues, ranging from a series of the mines, of people being transported, the transported of Kondebele. He's worked in Johannesburg. He's worked extensively all over South Africa, the Karoo in particular. So I think he's got such an extensive body of work that covers all issues, many of the issues in South Africa, that I think his body of work, the collection that he has developed through that, certainly is a milestone. I think a milestone not for South Africa but for the world. I think that there are very few photographers that have worked so extensively and so productively and continues to work so productively.
Indeed. And Jabulani, you were nodding there, and I mean, you're one of those 5 photographers that were handpicked by the icon himself. What does this moment mean for you, both professionally and personally?
You know, when I started my career in photography, David Goldblatt was is one of the artists that I've looked up to. And when I got the call from John, you know, I got excited to be part of this. You know, it's an honor for me to be in part of celebrating David Goldblatt. Indeed.
Talk to us exactly about your contribution to this project.
My work, the selected work, it's about Sharpeville. So it's a project that I collaborated with the Sharpeville massacre survivors. You know, I wanted to tell their own stories, you know, and so what I did, it composes of landscapes and objects that trapped or that triggers the memory of the Sharpeville shooting to them. So I went to the place where this incident, the Sharpeville shooting happened, and what happened is that they came with the objects that reminds them of the massacre. So my work looks at that. I'm interested in the trauma that was came with the result of this traumatic incident.
Indeed. John, and in your opinion, what was it about Jabulani, Mauro, Pierre and Alexia's work that you think made what they do appealing to David?
Well, I think, like David's work, we were looking for people that were photographing and looking at very important social issues in our world. But at the same time, we were looking for striking images that were able to communicate on a aesthetic level some of the key aspects of the story. So I presented a number of different photographers to David, and then he selected from that area, from that group. And I think some of the interest that he had was to look at diversity. So the 4 photographers certainly look at very broad, very different issues from, well, even in different countries. Mauro Vombe is from Mozambique. And Alexia Webster's work is from all over the world, from Johannesburg, Cape Town, from India, from Mexico, from Congo. So I think very much we were trying to kind of create something that speaks to that ethos that David has always worked with.
Okay. Jabulani, won't you give us details around the exhibition? Where is it taking place? How can people get more information? How can people get to see your contribution to this project?
Okay, no, I think John will...
okay.
Let me, the exhibition is at the Gerard Sekoto Gallery at the Alliance Française, which is in Park View, very close to Zoo Lake. It opens on the 3rd of May in the evening, and it will be running from the 4th until the 31st of May. There are some walkabouts, so if public is interested to come to the walkabouts to learn more from the photographers, there's one on the 5th of May. And I think if people look on social media and follow the French Institute, the Alliance Française, as well as Photo, I'm sure they will be able to get more information.
Indeed, Jabulani, I'm not going to let you go just yet. One more question. A lot of young people particularly seem to be interested in photography. Things like Instagram and social media allow us to sort of use our phone as our own, you know, cameras. Your advice to upcoming photographers?
My advice would be that, you know, stay real, be who you are, you know, don't change don't easily be influenced, you know. Indeed. You just need to be, because of the aim is to tell your own stories.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
gentlemen,
thanks.
it was a great pleasure having you in studio today. Well, that was curator John Fleetwood and one of the participating photographers, Jabulani Dhlamini, discussing the upcoming exhibition that will pay tribute to legendary photographer and artist David Goldblatt.